Orange County, and it seems like pretty much everybody knows who he is now, which we don't always encounter. I'm also the oldest Yang ganger in Orange County, and I'm really trying to change that. I appreciate you giving me your time tonight. I'll try to be judicious, but I do get excited. When I got the email from Andrea saying that I could come, I was so excited. I went to my son and I said, I'm so nervous. I'm going to be speaking to the young Latin Democrats. I said, honey, I'm not Latin. I don't have that experience. I want to honor it. He said, it's okay. You're not young either. And, you know, he's right. So just know that while I may not exactly meet your demographics, I am with you in spirit. So brief history, how I got here, how I ended up speaking tonight. I ran a poll. I was the poll inspector for the poll near my home on November 8, 2016. And I was not political in any way. I voted, and I went in the morning at 5:30 and thinking that Hillary was going to win, and you're not allowed to discuss politics. So at 9:30 at night, we closed the doors. I drove the box of ballots to the high school to drop them off. I rolled down the window, and the woman said to me, he won. And I went, I didn't know what she was talking about. I was just tired and ready to go home. And she said, he won. And it started to dawn on me, and sorry, I couldn't believe it. And this isn't about him personally, it just was the change it made in my world. I ended up going to the grocery store because I had to pick up some stuff, and all I could do was sit in the parking lot and cry because I didn't understand, and I didn't have the buffer of watching it happen. And then I just became discouraged as things progressed, and I couldn't believe this is the world we're living in. And in June, my other son said to me, hey, did you hear about that guy that wants to give everybody $1,000 a month? Is that crazy? And I'm like, that's insane. That can't, what's this? And so I immediately went to my computer and I thought, I need a good laugh, let's read about this. And I began to watch, he has a Joe Rogan interview, if you're familiar with that, Pod Save the World. And then I binge watched everything I could get of him speaking. And I realized that, number one, freedom dividend is not insane. It's very real and doable, and he has a plan for it. And number two, he has over 170 policies right now on his website, yang2020.com. So he has outlined, and some of them are just fun. One of the things, maybe not fun, but he wants to eliminate the penny. Because it costs more to make than it does than it's worth. There's benefits for MMA fighters. So anything that is brought to his attention, he will research, but it's not his. It's not, this is what I believe, and it's not even really party line. It's about getting the information. And so I don't know how many of you know his background, but he was, for about 5 months, an unhappy corporate lawyer. And he left that and ended up in some tech startups that failed. He's quite honest. His parents were horribly embarrassed, and they would tell everybody he was still an attorney. And then finally he ended up running Manhattan Prep, which is a prep company that does test prep, GMAT and LSAT. And he ran that for a number of years until it was sold to Kaplan, the largest education company. And then he decided he needed to do something more, and he started a company called Venture for America with his own money, and then he got some other investors. And what it does is it goes into cities that are economically challenged, some of the bigger cities, Detroit, St. Louis, gosh, I'm blanking on it, I believe Cleveland, and it teaches young people how to become entrepreneurs. Because one of the things we know is that when our economy takes a downturn, in the past, what has always brought us back up is small business. And the thing is, we're not seeing that now. What we're seeing are temp jobs. And I'm a contractor, so I get it, but we're not seeing the entrepreneurship and the small business that has rejuvenated our economy. And in the course of his growing this business, he now has over 500 alumni, young people that have been taught the skills to grow businesses. He learned about what automation and the future of artificial intelligence and what it's going to do to the vast majority of jobs in America. And some of it maybe we're insulated from, I don't know, it remains to be seen, but I know from doing a little bit of research that for the Hispanic community, about 60% of the jobs are in jeopardy of being automated away. And the typical, say, retail worker, which is where, not what I do, but where my demographic is a single mom, which I am. I'm a little bit older than I think the average age of 40, and that job's gonna go away. And truck drivers, another huge employment industry, they're being replaced by robot trucks. We know this. Businesses want it, it's more efficient, it's cheaper, but it's not only the truck drivers who are going to end up unemployed, it's the people that run the roadside truck stops. It's all the other businesses. As we move to automated cars, self-driving cars, we're not going to have the same need for mechanics. And the insurance companies are going to drive up insurance rates to get us off the road, because the problem with self-driving cars isn't the cars, it's the people that the cars can't account for. And so how quickly it will all happen, there's a debate, but it's coming. And it's there, and he saw it. And he went to Washington, D.C. and talked to the politicians, and nobody listened. And so he is was a reluctant presidential candidate. But he has 2 children, 3 and 6, 2 young boys, one of which is autistic, and he said he had to do something to make the world a better place for them and to help America. So if you haven't Google Andrew Yang, which is how a lot of the campaign started, you can do so. I have information sheets for you that just give you some good places to start. And we do have the Orange County Yang Gang, which I am in charge of. You see, I started in June, so this is all relatively new. But if anybody's interested in coming to our meetings, one of the other things I want to mention, he believes in humanity first. So that is in, giving back. So he has Humanity First days, and our first one that I've been involved with was last Sunday. We went to the city of Stanton, and they have a community garden, and we helped rebuild it. It got moved, and it's really struggling since it was moved. And so if there's somebody here, we're looking to plan our next one, probably not next month, but the month after. If you have an idea of someplace where you could use our services. I mean, there was about 10 of us that showed up and worked for about 3 hours and did everything we could. So, and we can do more of those. We want to do more of those. So if you have needs, let us know, let me know, and we'll get them on the calendar to help you out. Does anybody have any questions? I know it's a lot. And yes?
Has Mr. Yang considered taxing companies who use automation as a way to discourage automation in the workplace?
Well, the thing is, you can go to this website, Yang 2020, and read about it, but I don't know personally if you want to discourage automation, because it's going to happen. The thing is, one of the things people hear, and I did the same thing with the Freedom Dividend, how do we pay $12,000 a year to every citizen over age 18? And so one of the things is the VAT tax, which there's out of the 193 countries, 160 of them have VAT taxes. It's a progressive tax. Because last year, Amazon paid 0 taxes. They paid no taxes. How is that even possible? I mean, I paid taxes, and I didn't make that much. So a VAT tax prevents the loopholes, and it does have companies helping out with the taxes. Because the other thing, when the jobs are lost, the income tax is lost. So our federal government is facing the loss of our income taxes because we're not working. So that is one of the things that he's going to use to fund the Freedom Dividend. So I don't know if that helps. There's probably more on this website, but I don't have them all memorized yet. I'm working on it. It's like one a week, or it's about the best I can do. Yes, sir.
If anybody wants to volunteer or become more involved, where will they sign up? Do you have paperwork?
Yes, I have paperwork here. I have flyers I'll gladly, quietly hand out, and there's a sheet here if you want more information. Yes.
Do you know if he's coming to the Truman dinner?
The Truman dinner. When is the Truman dinner?
I think it's like the 27th.
I don't think so. I know he's going to be at the Segerstrom on September 9th at 8 a.m. There's September 8th, thank you. Asian American Pacific Islander Presidential Forum, and he, Tulsi Gabbard, and Marianne Williamson are speaking. I don't know who else is committed or if anybody has. We'll be there. We got balcony seats. And then I think he flies out after that. And he's in LA on the 26th of September for a private fundraiser, but that's all I know right now. I can come, and the other thing is, if you have issues to go back to the campaign, I mean, the one thing is he's so available. I don't email with him directly, but I do email with his campaign manager and his deputy finance director, his events coordinator, just like, hey, it's me. How are things going? What do you need? And so for me, this isn't just me talking to you. This is a conversation. And if you have issues for me to take back to him, tell me. I'll give you my email address if you want to write them down. You can dictate them to me, and I'll send them to him because he actually listens. So please, definitely. I have little sheets with my contact info and some more information and social media, his social media presence, and we can use help. It's totally grassroots. I think the average, maybe not so much now, but originally the average donation to this campaign was less than $25, like the average donator, that's what they gave. So it's all of us pulling together and kind of, I personally don't know how a traditional politician could win come 2020. I'm not sure about it, but I know that he can unite people. And that's my belief. So, any other questions? Oh, yes, sir.
One more question. So I saw at the last debate that he has expressed his support for Medicare for all. I wanted to know what his pathway to getting there is, because as you know, it does cost money and it's affordable ones, but I wanted to know where does he stand on transitions.
I'm not sure, but I do actually have his Medicare for all policy printed out, and I'll be happy to go over it with you or give it to you to read. I don't have the specifics memorized, but that's one of the problems I just haven't gotten into. That would be great. I will wait. My name's Jenna. Justin, nice to meet you, Justin. Thank you very much.
Before we get to our main speaker, thank you to the Andrew Yang campaign for coming out and speaking to our club. And we tell all of you too is, if you're part of the campaigns, if you want to have folks, we want to come out and hear from the different presidential candidates and their campaigns. And thank you all for coming out. And you're more than invited to come to our next meeting as well. We're lucky in that we have a lot of good people running for president with a lot of innovative ideas, right from universal basic income, Medicare for all, criminal justice reform. We're lucky in having that diversity of thought. So, that's a pretty cool story, right? You go from being an unknown tech entrepreneur to qualifying to a debate with 10 other people up to meeting a threshold of 4 polls at 2% and at least 130,000 donors. I mean, who would have thought? I mean, you beat out a billionaire, a couple of sitting state senators and governors. That's a pretty cool thing. So, yeah. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and of course, your team is more than welcome to come back to our next meeting and others too. So we want to